Hey guys, it's Amber. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching a video with me, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to help you guys figure out how you can read more in 2019. So every year I end up reading about 60 to 70 books. I read I think 67 or 68 books in 2018. The year before that I read I think 73. So reading is a big part of my everyday life. A lot of people think the only way that you can read more books is if you just kind of dedicate your whole life to reading, which is not true. You'd be surprised at how much free time you have if you really just kind of reprioritize and change your habits a little bit. Today I'm going to give you 5 simple ways that you can read more books in 2019, so keep watching. Okay, so my first tip to you if you want to read more this year is to always have a book with you. It seems simple enough, but it honestly is the one thing that always keeps me reading. I never have to look for my next book. It's already on me. I love carrying around physical books. They're my favorite way to read. I always have a good selection of books to choose from, but I also use 3 apps that help me have books in my bag even if I don't have a physical copy of a book on me. So the 3 apps I'm going to show you are really easy to use, super user friendly, and 2 of them are actually free. So the first app I'm going to share with you guys is called Hoopla. Hoopla is basically a free reading app that connects to your local library. So you sign up online via your library, it's no charge, and you get to read ebooks and audiobooks for free. It doesn't get much better than free. So you download the app and then you can browse through different titles. You do have a limited number of borrows each month. I think it's around like 5 or 6, but if you're reading a book a week, that should be more than enough. And if you're reading even less than that, then you'll never have an issue with the borrow max. Great thing about Hoopla is that there is no waiting or like lending line, so you never have to put a book on hold or wait for someone to return it before you can read it. It's available to you instantly on your phone. You can even download the books that you're reading so that if you're on a plane or don't have good service on your phone, you can still read or listen to the book that you chose. The next app that I use to keep books on me at all times is also free and connects to your local library again, and it's called Libby. So basically Libby is a system that most libraries use to monitor their online catalogs of books. So all of your libraries most likely have a full collection of ebooks and audiobooks available digitally for everyone who uses the library, and they use Libby to serve you those books through the app. So you just download the Libby app. It's super easy to use, very user friendly, and you can search different ebooks, audiobooks, and I think even music files, and just keep them all in your phone. Again, you can download them for streaming when you're not on cellular service or Wi-Fi and have them literally at the tip of your fingers. I love using Libby to download ebooks. When I was home for the holidays, I didn't want to bring 17,000 books home, so I just popped into Libby, scrolled through, saw what was available, and just started reading that way. And it's a really easy way to support your local library. Unlike Hoopla, Libby does have hold lines, so there might be a really popular book that you want that you have to wait a few weeks for, but it indicates next to the book title how many weeks it will take for you to check out that book, so you can kind of wait in line without having to wait in line. And I don't think that Libby has any borrow limits, but I will check on that and put it in the description box. The third app is my favorite app of all times, and it is worth every penny of the subscription, and it's called Scribd. Scribd is basically an app that combines Audible plus all of your favorite ebook and audiobook free apps in one, and it lets you borrow unlimited amount of ebooks and audiobooks right to your phone or your computer or your iPad or however else you get your digital downloads. Scribd costs about $9 a month, but unlike Audible where you only get 1 credit for $14 and you can download 1 book with that credit, you can download as many things as you want on Scribd. Some people have said that after they reach like I think 8 or 9 downloads of audiobooks specifically, it cuts you off, but I've never read that many audiobooks in a month or had an issue with being cut off of Scribd, so I can't speak to that download limit, but it is such a great app. Very easy to use. You can search authors, book titles, and after you finish books, it will recommend new books to you based on whether or not you liked it. You can rate your books, you can organize your books in the app. There's just tons of options within this app. I think it's probably one of the best reading apps online right now, and it's a great way to organize your reading too. If you're not a Goodreads user, you can organize all of the books that you read, love, build lists, author lists that you love right in this app while you're listening. So if you're willing to spend a couple bucks a month, Scribd is a really easy way to always have a book on you. Second tip I have to get you reading more in 2019 is to trade 1 hour of your screen time for 1 hour of reading time. You would be amazed at how much time you spend mindlessly scrolling through Instagram, doing absolutely nothing when you could be finishing one of your favorite books of all time. So take 1 hour every day that you normally would spend either watching Netflix or on Instagram or social media and trade it for screen time with your book instead. So maybe you're listening to an audiobook while you're washing dishes or cleaning instead of watching Netflix for an hour. Or when you're on the bus, instead of going on social media, you pick up a book instead. It's those little things that really will add up to you reading way more than you ever thought you possibly could. The third tip I have is probably the most important tip that I can share with you guys, and that is stop reading books that you don't like. I think so often people get frustrated with books because they're reading things that they feel like they should read, but they're not actually enjoying the books that they're reading. So if you know that you're not a fan of the classics, don't read classics. If you love sci-fi and fantasy, then don't read contemporary romance. You have to really think about what kind of books you're into, what kind of things that you want to get from books, and then find books that meet those requirements. Don't waste time reading books you don't like. Life is way too short, and you'll find that you read more when you are actually enjoying the books that you're reading. The fourth tip I have for you guys to help you read more this year is to play around with different mediums for books. So I mentioned all of those apps earlier that give you audiobook and ebook options, but maybe you haven't tried them before and that's why you're not reading as much. I know that a lot of people tell me that they try to read before bed and end up just falling asleep and never really getting into the book. Then switch mediums. If audiobooks are a better way for you to consume books, try out audiobooks. If ebooks are better because you don't like the idea of carrying around a heavy book, I know that some people who are super into fantasy always complain that fantasy books tend to be a little bit longer and a little bit heavier, especially if you're more of a hardback reader than a paperback reader. So switch to ebooks. That way you can carry around a 700-page book but only have the weight of your phone to deal with. So there are lots of options and so many mediums out there, even graphic novels or manga or comics. All of those things count as reading. It just matters that you're getting the information in a way that makes sense to you and that you're actually entertained by, because if you're not entertained, what was the point of reading the book? The fifth and final tip that I have to get you all reading books that you absolutely love in 2019 is to visit your local library. If you don't have a library card, you're literally missing out on access to thousands and thousands of free books. They're just free. They're sitting in the library waiting for you to come read them for free, and you're at home not reading. Doesn't make any sense. Most libraries will have a section in the front too that all have librarian recommendations. So if you want to get a really good book from someone who's really knowledgeable of 1, books, and 2, reading, the librarian is a pretty safe place to start. So check out those tables, see what books people are loving, and ask your librarian what people are really into. Tell your librarian that you're not a big reader but you really want to get into reading this year, and ask her to recommend things for you. You'll know that you can take unlimited recommendations because the books are free, and you'll also learn how your library system works. So some libraries, like my branch, you can check out 20 books a month. Other branches, you can check out unlimited books a month. Some libraries have comic books or graphic novels. Some libraries have books on tape or CDs, or however, there's a million different ways you can get books from your library, but you have to physically go there to really see what they have to offer. So take a minute, take a few hours on a Sunday or a Saturday, do a few laps around your local library, and you'd be surprised at how quickly you find your next favorite book. Alright, so I hope those tips were helpful. I know a lot of you have mentioned that you really want to read more books in 2019, and I hope this is a good jumping off point to help you meet that goal this year. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and let me know how many books you're trying to read this year, or if you need a book recommendation, let me know a book that you've read before that you really liked, and I will try to recommend something that I've either read or heard about or read reviews for that I think you might enjoy too. Or tell me a Netflix show that you really liked, and I can try to recommend a book for you based on your Netflix preferences. Maybe that's another video that I'll do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!